Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your May 2017 mid-month readings. Thank you so much for joining us here today, and welcome to any newcomers who may be with us for the first time. Thank you so much for continuing to watch, listen, follow, and subscribe to my channel, and for all your feedback, support, and comments. They're brilliant. So are you guys. Keep them coming. I love them. Thank you as well to those of you who continue to reach out for personal one-on-one readings. It's a pleasure and an honor and a blessing always, and I am grateful for the trust that you place in me to interpret and intuit the cards for you. And to my regular clients, a thank you as well for allowing me to be part of those regularly unfolding chapters of your life, and for being so good with a consistent feedback in how the readings continue to play out in your lives. And if any of you are interested in a personal private one-on-one reading with me, live or recorded, and you haven't read with me before, you can click on the little about or description button on my channel's homepage, and that'll give you a little more detail and information, and my email address, which is Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I do a variety of different readings: love and romance, compatibility chartings, career, work, and finance, year overviews, channeled messages, and so on. So if you're interested, send me an email, and we will go from there. I do readings full-time, 6 days a week, so I'm usually able to get back with you pretty quickly and set up a reading within almost always a 2-week period of time. The current turnaround time is anywhere from a few days upwards of 2 weeks, but almost always within 2 weeks. Now, these are general readings, so make sure to check your rising and your moon sign as well, particularly if this one doesn't resonate all that well for you. Your rising or your moon sign may play out a little more predictably for you, and just by watching all three, you get additional bits of insight and clarity into what's going on in your life. For the mid-month readings, I'm changing them up a little bit. I usually pull the same 8 cards, 2 cards for each week, at the beginning of the month for generals, and I've been doing the same thing for mid-months. But in the interest of making the mid-months a little more streamlined and efficient in terms of time, since we're only looking at the last couple of weeks of the month, I'm going to pull 2 cards for those last 2 weeks, with an additional 5th card from the bottom of the deck for overall energy and advice. It'll shorten the time a little bit, and I think make them a little more streamlined and efficient and precise, at least as much as general readings can be, because there's many of you watching, thousands of you watching, so of course they're not going to mean the same thing to the same degree and intensity for everyone watching. So again, if you know your rising and moon sign, try to watch all 3 if you can. So moving right along, this video is for Gemini, the air sign of Gemini, Gemini the twins, for May 2017 mid-month. Gemini, Gemini the twins, May 2017 mid-month. What does the remainder of May have in store for our twins, our Geminis, the air sign of Gemini, for May 2017 mid-month? Okay, Gemini, we begin with the 3 of Swords, followed by Temperance. We have the 8 of Pentacles, followed by the 10 of Cups. I like how that ends. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and advice is the 3 of Wands. Okay, I'm already getting it coming through, Gemini, but let me just take another look here. Ouch. My cat Bandit is under my desk trying to chew on my toes. His name is Bandit because that's exactly what he is. Okay. Okay, Gemini. So it looks like for a lot of you, you're healing from moving through something that has been pretty difficult for you on an emotional basis. What this is going to vary because of how many of you are watching. Some of this, it's going to be perhaps a recent breakup, a breakup with somebody that could be a love romantic relationship, or a really close friendship. It could be a disappointment in work or finances, job, career path, as well, a financial disappointment. Again, it's a general reading, so the specifics of it are going to vary, although the fundamental energy remains the same. We find ourselves in the middle of the month with the 3 of Swords, accompanied by the Major Arcana card of Temperance. Now, the Three of Swords, this is air energy, which is the element which governs the Suit of Swords. This is mental, cerebral, intellectual energy, more or less. It's about what goes on up in our heads and how we communicate. Words, ideas, communication. It's about our belief systems, mental outlooks, perspective, perceptions, how we view things, and how we communicate what we think and what we feel. It's also about truth, illumination, clarity, higher education, and learning. Can refer to health issues as well. The Three of Swords is a card of, it can represent heartbreak, heartache, deep emotional disappointment, or sometimes even almost a crushing sense of disappointment. And for some of you, I'm actually getting this, some of you, this is going to resonate more as a relationship issue. And some of you, I'm getting that this is a financial issue. You've suffered, you're dealing with a very difficult, challenging disappointment with job or work. Some of you may have lost a job or had something taken from you at work, like had your hours cut back, or were expecting a raise or a promotion or a cost of living raise or something like that, like really counting on it, and it was you didn't get it for some reason. Some of you, I'm getting property issues as well. There may be difficulty with mortgages or a house going upside down or balloon payments, something to do with that. It feels like something that, and I feel like this is something that you're going through, but it's based on information or something that's happened recently, but it's still quite fresh. You're still working your way through this. On some of it, it's flat out healing process as well. For a smaller portion of you, this could be to do with recovering from illness or getting some bad or disappointing news around a health issue. It could be yours or someone very close to you, a loved one, partner. Now, the Three of Swords is paired with the major arcana card of Temperance. So Temperance, major arcana card, major energies, fingers of the divine, as I like to call them. They represent those energies of God, Spirit, your angels, guides, energies we have no control over. This is the powers that be here. Temperance is about temperance, balance, walking the middle line. My favorite analogy that I always use for temperance is imagining a seesaw or teeter-totter on a mental and emotional level. A seesaw or teeter-totter. When you're on the outside end, you're not manifesting temperance. Being on the outside end is unstable because you're at the mercy of outside elements. People's comments, people's opinions, people's actions, situations. When you're in the middle, and you're prone to fall off when those things go up and down because we don't really have a lot of control, if any, over external things coming in to affect us. The only choice is how we respond to those. And that's about temperance or balance. That's about being in the center of that seesaw or teeter-totter, being in alignment with ourselves, being emotionally grounded, centered. Not to say that these situations aren't difficult and challenging to deal with, they are, but when we're coming from a centered, grounded, aligned place, particularly on a mental and emotional level, even though those things can be challenging and that seesaw and teeter-totter is still going up and down, we are not so much at the mercy of that because we have our own center, we have our own anchor, whatever that is, instinct, intuition, connection to the divine, faith, belief in our own selves and being true to our own selves. Even if we wobble when those things come along, we tend not to lose our balance because we have that stability, we have that temperance. So I feel like some of you are relationship issues, you're healing through that, you're kind of going through that process. Work and finance, you've been going through, maybe you've had a disappointing blow recently, you're going through some financial challenges or some career path challenges or some unemployment issues. Again, the specifics are going to vary from person to person, but the energy is the same. It looks like it's an emotionally difficult and mentally difficult, perhaps financially difficult thing for you to deal with, and health-wise too, for those of you who are dealing with ongoing health issues, you or a loved one, because I'm getting like a loved one or someone close to you, whether it's a partner, a parent, or a friend, or a child. But Spirit is saying, stay balanced, stay centered, stay grounded. It actually, I feel like the last couple of weeks of May is more just about putting one foot in front of the other, holding your ground, but not allowing, the challenge is to kind of get sucked into focusing only on the negative aspect of it, or the painful aspect of it, or the disappointing aspect of it, because Spirit is saying, particularly in the next two cards, just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Just keep believing, have hope and faith, even though it feels like a challenging time, even if you can't see how the path is playing out, even if you can't see the next step in front of you. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other, doing the work that's in front of you to do, and keep on building your foundations. Keep on working towards what you're working for. Don't give up. Stay balanced, stay centered, stay grounded. Now, next to that, which represents the last week of May, roughly, time being relative, give or take a few days, maybe going a little bit into the beginning of June, we have the Eight of Pentacles, followed by the Ten of Cups. And I really like this combination of energy for you, particularly since it looks like a lot of you may be going through something, rather challenging, moving through something challenging and trying to keep your balance in the midst of that. Pentacles is earth energy. That's the element which governs the suit of Pentacles. And it's earthy energy. It's tangible, grounded. The energy of this suit usually manifests in that concrete world that we live in day to day. It often manifests in things like money, finance, property, real estate, jobs, assets, things that we can see and touch and feel, or results of efforts we're putting into something. The Eight of Pentacles can represent, I have nicknamed this the worker bee card because that's what it represents, particularly for those of you who are working. This is the slow, steady, successful building up of a solid foundation for yourself, particularly in financial and material aspects. Because of your level of dedication, perseverance, determination, it can represent working a lot, getting up early, staying up late because you have a vision and a goal, you have something that you're working towards. For some of you, this is going to be, particularly for some of you for whom this is more of an emotional relationship issue, sometimes work when we're going through, a breakup or relationship, going through, hard times, regardless of the nature of that relationship, sometimes work can be a very beneficial part of the healing process. It's a distraction for one. It keeps us focused. It keeps us busy, even pouring a lot. Sometimes it's actually not a bad thing to overwork during times like this. I don't mean to the point where it's harmful for you, but just as a way to kind of distract yourself, keep going with your tangible goals, and kind of, maybe wear yourself out so you sleep a little better at night. For some of you, it's going to be, focusing on work is going to help you move through this process. It's going to at least give you something else to focus on so that you don't get stuck into focusing only on the negativity, because there's positive aspects to everything and there's positive aspects. You are moving through this energy and all will be well in the end. It just looks like right now it's a bit of a challenge for you. So for those of you who are going through this and you're working, focus on work. And if you don't have a job, if you're not working a conventional job, this Eight of Pentacles could also represent anything that you're putting a fair amount of work into, a project, your home, whatever it is that you dedicate a lot of your energy to. It also can represent, for those of you for whom this is more of the difficulty that you're going through has to do with job, work, or finance. Perhaps you're going through financial difficulties. Again, I'm getting property. We have the Ten of Cups, the Happy Home card too. Maybe there's some fear or something with mortgage payments. Maybe you don't have enough, or maybe you're behind in your payments. Maybe a job is being threatened, or you just found out you're being downsized, or you've recently lost a job. Some kind of difficulty like that. It's about continuing to not giving up, not allowing yourself to kind of sit down and get drawn into focusing on the negativity of that. Keep putting your effort into what you're putting your effort into, even if it's, that sounds very vague, but even if it's the underlying fundamental message I'm getting. It's difficult when I get barraged by 6 different stories at once. The fundamental message that I'm getting, Gemini, is not to give up and just it's almost kind of a keep slogging through it kind of energy. What you're going through has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And you're being asked to just continue, to not stop, to not lose momentum, to just keep putting one foot in front of the other. And whatever the situation is, finances, job, health, relationship, with the exception of those for whom something has ended, I mean, there may or may not be a chance of reconciliation, but it's still going to turn out well for you. particularly in terms of keeping on going, kind of not giving up. I'm almost surprised not to see the Nine of Wands here, that not giving up in the 11th hour. And it's underscored too by your crowning card, which I'll get to in a minute, the Three of Wands. You know, it's about having a long-term vision goal. The Three of Wands is transitioning from the Two, which is setting your long-term visions and goals. The Three of Wands is about building that foundation, putting in the work to build the foundation of that, because again, it feels like whatever this challenge or pain is about a disappointment of something that you really had a lot of hope and faith in. So don't give up on that. Whatever the issue is, I feel like it's still viable. It's still attainable. It's just a setback, delay, obstacle of some kind. So keep putting the work into it, even if that work represents just hope and faith in that. That Eight of Pentacles is paired with the Ten of Cups. Beautiful card. Cups is water energy. The energy of this suit manifests itself in the emotional area of our life. It's about our emotional landscape, our feelings, and our relationships, how we relate to people. How do we deal with our feelings in relating to other people? Tens represent the end of a cycle, the full culmination, coming full circle of something. So the Ten of Cups in the upright position, you can see all 10 of these goblets, upright, full, beautiful. It represents kind of being in that energy, being at that place where all the puzzle pieces have come together. It's got that homecoming feeling, where that place you come home to at the end of the day, where you take off your shoes and everything just feels right. Not perfect, but just that things are flowing in the right direction. It's also called the happily ever after card, the happy home card. There's a strong theme of happy home with this: home harmony, home family, peace, happiness, joy, contentment. I just got miscarriage for somebody, perhaps a couple of somebody's very specifically. So again, it's about and my condolences for whoever that might resonate with, but it's not over yet. You're going to achieve what you want, your goal, your vision, your dream, despite whatever this disappointment or heartbreak is. Keep working towards it. Keep putting in the work towards what you're wanting, what you're believing in, even if whatever you've been disappointed in is not going to come back. You can still achieve it in another way, in another job, with another person, in another time frame, a little ways down the road. It's going to work out well as long as you just keep putting your work, your effort, your hope and faith into it. Underscored by your crowning card, the Three of Wands, fire energy here, which is the element which governs the suit of wands. And the energy of the suit of wands is very fluid, dynamic, action oriented. It's change, movement, action, power, but it's also very forward looking and forward moving. It's about creating and manifesting, having that dream and idea and building things. The Three of Wands, again, we're still early on in the path here. The Two of Wands is looking down the road, setting that long-term goal and vision. The Three of Wands is starting to flesh it out, putting in the work towards it, doing your research, your homework, laying the groundwork for it, and believing in it. So again, Gemini, I know it kind of sounds like a bit of a mixed bag, and it is, and sometimes that's just the phases that we go through in life. It looks like you went through something very difficult recently, and that's the energy that you're dealing with. I mean, it all can't be happy, happy, joy, joy all the time, but I always try to see the positive aspect of things, because there always is one. Sometimes it's more evident than others. Sometimes you really have to take more layers off to find it, but it's there. And for you, it is. Your dream is still viable. You're still keep putting the work towards it, whether it's that literal, tangible work or the hope and faith work into it, the prayers, the positive energy, even if what's lost or has been stalled or delayed, you feel is gone irrevocably. Your dream and vision and goal is still possible, even if you can't see it now a little further down the road with another person or with another attempt. It does feel like you're going to get to where you need to be. Don't allow yourself to get sucked in. Remember that Temperance card. Stay focused, balanced to the best of your abilities. Draw on whatever is around you, friends, family, loved ones, to kind of help keep you steady, reliable. For those of you who are working, focus on work. It's a good distraction, and it can be a very positive part of healing and moving through difficult times as well. Keep putting in the work towards what you believe in. Here comes the gardener with all the noise. So I'm going to The gardener and the cat. I'm so sorry, Gemini. I have no idea why this is happening in your reading. It's kind of like, the difficult energy. Everything's going to be fine, Gemini. Don't give up and keep working towards and believing in what you want, what your goal and your dream is. So Gemini, I hope that you have enjoyed this reading, or at least gotten some insight and clarity and some food for thought. And again, if any of you are interested in any more personal one-on-one private reading with me, just click on that About or description button, and that will give you a little bit more information and detail, and my email address, which is Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you. You can also find me on PayPal through that same email address, should any of you feel so inclined to donate $1 or $2 in support of my channel. I am saving up for a new computer and audio system to improve this channel, so any small amount is gratefully and graciously accepted. I will see all of you again in a couple of weeks for the June 2017 general readings, and until then, Gemini, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Thanks so much, Gemini, and I hope to see you soon. Take care and have strength. Bye-bye.